to Dad Bod episode 3. And this is my deadlift session, 455 pounds, conventional, which is really not my preferred deadlift. But these have been progressing pretty quickly. And you'll see this is pretty close to what I'm capable of because I've felt pretty good this day if I'm honest. So I'll take this. And I got it. Back off sets are upcoming. Those are also my favorite shorts right now. Lumber legs, I really like their stuff. And these have zip up pockets, which the old shorts did not. And that was a major issue because stuff just falls out of them all the time. So back down to 405. In my next deadlift session, I will not be working up to a single because I got to pretty much where my max is. So it's a top single and then 2 sets of 3. Volume is pretty low on deadlifts just because they're pretty taxing. With my schedule, this is just what makes sense right now. And these socks are great for deadlifting. They're actually from the DIY Wolverine costume I made for Halloween last year. My wife is due tomorrow as I'm recording this, the day before Halloween, so we don't have any for sure Halloween plans. We'll just see how things go. Yeah, deadlift feels pretty good. And alternating. No, I didn't alternate, so I completed deadlifts first and then did leg extensions. This is 10 pounds more than the previous week. And this felt like a pretty good resistance level here. So it's just 3 sets of 10 on leg extensions. This was a fairly low volume day. And then last exercise of the day, just did a little bit more mid and upper back work. So it was 3 sets of 10. And you'll see here, this isn't particularly heavy for my grip, but because of the position I'm in, it kind of rolled backwards. So I think I get 8 here, and then I have to reset because it's just uncomfortable in my hand. And on the following sets, I use straps just so I don't have to think about that at all. I believe that was it for the day. Yep, onto bench. And this is my lighter bench press day. 3 sets of 6 with 220. I think here you'll see the first and last set. I've tried to record all of my working sets on the main lifts, but my camera, for some reason, which is my phone camera, did not record the second set. I think maybe I tapped the button twice on accident. Yeah, it happens. But that felt pretty good. 220 for more than a couple reps for me means I'm progressing. I went a long time without benching. Had some shoulder issues in the shoulder. Knock on wood, has felt pretty good lately. I adjusted my grip slightly and my elbow and shoulder position, and it seems to have helped. Yeah, I think my triceps are a little bit more involved than they were before, but if that's what I need to do to not have a shoulder issue, that's what I'll do. All right, 3 sets of 6 with 220. On to incline with 190. It was also 3 sets of 6. Very simple programming right now. I believe I just got one of those sets. Yep. Into dips. I most likely did either 3 sets of 10 or 3 sets of 8. You'll also see that I finally moved my TV from my studio out here because I'm spending a lot more time out here than I am in the studio. And the weather's great right now, so having the garage door open and having football on at the same time is perfect for me. I will do the same after I record this commentary. Dips and then pull-ups with these handles. And looking at the TV there, I'm almost certain that was when all 4 commentators picked the Lions to win last weekend, and then they got trounced 38-6. So hoping they do better this week. They're playing on Monday. We'll see how that goes. He goes sets of 8 here. Right into squats. And again, this will probably be the last session for a while with a top set. This is the last warm-up / acclimation, and you'll see that I have the safety arms. And of course, that height is where I need them, and the bolt that holds the tower onto the arm that hooks into the wall is right there, so I can't rotate it all the way down. I think I'm going to enlist the help of somebody with some more heavy-duty tools than I have to just cut a little piece of this off. It's not going to fall off. If I dropped the weight, it would still catch it, but not ideal. And of course, that's the height I need for squat and bench. It happens to be the same notch. So here's the top set with 420. I'd mentioned before, and if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know squats for sure my best lift. It takes the least for me to improve it. This is 420, and I would say this was still about an 8 to 8.5 RPE. So, you know, with adrenaline and everything, I think 450 is probably a reasonable estimate for my max, which is almost the same as my deadlift right now. Here we go. The 420 squat never feels easy. It's still a lot of weight on my back, but the way that moved, I'm feeling pretty good about. Back to 370, and it was 2 sets of 4 as back off sets. As usual, since I'm going pretty aggressive with the weight on the back off sets, this part was harder than the max. Wearing the DeNovo Nutrition hat, which I had forgotten I had. The brand is now Elemental Formulations, if anyone's curious. And here's the last set of squats for that day. And it's been hectic at work. I really didn't want to be out here for very long. On this particular week, I did a squat session, and then I separated the rest of my leg training. And I didn't record that, apparently. I'd forgotten that. So here is what should have gone much more smoothly of a top set, based on how 260 moved the week before. But on this day, I really did not feel like training. Just going through the motions. So the fact that I got that is good. Glad I had the spotter arms because I was close. And then went to the same back off weight as I did the previous week for 3 sets of 4. And this actually moves slightly better than the previous week. So overall, it was a win for the day. As I always say, my bench just lags behind my other lifts. But I'm okay with the way it's going right now. It is progressing just very, very slowly. And this is an exercise I like to do too. Did a little bit more mid-back and traps work this week. This is just a cheap hex bar. And I believe it was 4 sets of 10 on this day. All right. Another back off set for bench. And you'll just, as usual, see these in the order that they occurred. I was alternating between these two. If I'm doing sets of 3 or 4 or fewer than that, I tend to not alternate because it's difficult enough and I don't want anything to carry over at all. But since this was going pretty smoothly, I was okay with alternating on this day. And I just got 1 set of the hex bar rows recorded. And that is it for this one. Please like the video if you liked it, and don't if you didn't. I appreciate it.